When you do not focus what the real issue, you distract from making the main thing the main thing. Sometimes people don't work out. That's not a messaging I got when I was younger, though.
They just not aligned.
Not aligned. I thought that the only reason that you would leave someone is if they are putting their hands on you or if they cheating on you.
What's up? Welcome to the Hube Knows Best Pod. I appreciate your support. In return, I hope I provide you with some worthwhile gems that benefit you on your journey. At the very least, I hope I put a smile on your face. If not, hopefully you share this with someone that does benefit. And I got you next time. Again, thanks for joining today, and let's get this thing going.
Welcome to another episode of the Hube Knows Best Pod, where I'm going to give you the truth, the whole truth, as best as I can, so help me God. Today, I have my friend, Kenese, a.k.a. Pip.
That's right.
Kenese Dowdy.
That's right.
Esquire.
Exactly.
Don't forget the Esquire.
Don't forget that Esquire.
Right. So today we're going to talk about a myriad of things. Pippi is a proud native of the west side of Chicago.
West side.
What's up, Joe? It's New Year's Eve. We hanging out before we go, have some fun.
Get into some shenanigans.
Get some adults. Hopefully not get shot in Chicago,
That's how we're going to start this? That's how we're going to start this?
You know how I feel about Chicago, so.
But you're in Chicago now. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it snowed today. Oh, joy. Wasn't that a wonderful thing to fly into from Atlanta? Kenese hit me up and was like, hey, is your flight delayed? And I was like, fuck you talking about?
That snow started at 8:30.
Yeah. While she was on her
morning walk,
yeah.
It was coming down.
Yeah. Yeah. So luckily it stopped snowing by the time we landed.
Yeah.
And then it picked up as soon as I walked in the house.
Yeah.
So
it was waiting for you to get here.
Don't say that. Yeah, don't say stuff like that. But yeah, I've been me and Pippi, we've been trying to connect. Things happen.
Yeah.
She got sick. I got sick.
I was sick. It's COVID season.
Yeah, things was going on. But Pippi is a great friend. We've come a mighty long way. Since 2006. But yeah, thanks for joining today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
When you said 2006, it will be almost 20 years. No, 2026.
Okay.
It will be almost 20 years.
Okay.
So 2 years from now, It will be 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
We are already at that age in life where we've known people for half our life, or probably more than the majority of our life.
You've known me.
Because I'm 35.
Since I was 19.
Yeah.
So.
I came out
and I'm 37. So 1 more year, you know me half my life.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because we're still young. I mean, relatively. We're almost 40.
I look younger than a lot of these black people, these men. I don't even want
Black don't crack nowhere. What you mean than these men? Who are you talking about?
Some of these black men I look younger than.
So you telling me the black is cracking?
For some of these people, because they're doing crack and fentanyl, and they drink too much lean.
Wow.
Smoke too many cigarettes.
So now it has become personal.
Too much hookah, and I love hookah. Not too much on hookah, but I'm a hookah daddy a little bit. That's why I probably love Houston and Atlanta because of hookah.
Oh,
but
wow. Okay.
That being said, I get told sometimes that I look like I'm 28.
Really?
And I'm like, you don't see all these gray hairs in my beard and in my mustache.
People in their 20s be stressed. They be having gray hairs too.
I don't know what they be stressed about because they broke.
Probably,
they didn't want to go to work. They went to school too long. What is it?
I mean, it could be the pandemic. It could be the state of the world.
Or they scrolling too much.
Could be scrolling.
Okay.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
It could be that as well.
Yeah. Could
you imagine that? Sometimes I sit and talk to my younger siblings about growing up in a day of social media.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't able to get Facebook unless you had a college email at that time when I signed up for it.
I think they need to go back to that.
It's just a lot of people who really only post like they highlights on social media. But if you are very young, 19, 20, or even younger than that, you don't realize that. You think that what people are posting is their life. And so you compare yourself to that.
Yeah, I think because Twitter got big, our junior year?
I was about to say we were already in college when Twitter got big.
Junior year, so we was in our 20s.
Yeah.
And a lot of people tweeting we was going to school with. So
Twitter was a wild place when it first started.
And then Instagram came out like 2010.
Yeah. And I think at first you only had to have an iPhone to get Instagram. Was it?
I don't even know. Maybe.
I believe so.
Yeah. Because it's only on the Apple Store.
Yep.
Right. Facebook had been around since what, 2004?
That's what I believe.
2004, 2005. Yeah, I think they need to go back to making social media only for people that at least have a high school diploma or like are in college or trying to go to college or get an associate's degree.
What do you think the point of social media
or
is?
just remove them people that don't from my timeline?
Well, you can curate your own timeline.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. On what?
That's a lie.
Why do you believe that? You think the algorithm is working?
Because if your friend send you something funny and you don't know that it's from some
a high schooler or something like that.
Yeah, now it's in your algorithm because you liked it. I be getting things suggested to me. I'm like, why?
This don't make sense.
Why is this suggested to me? And the phone be listening to you and be putting stuff on your feed.
Big Brother's definitely listening.
I'm about to turn my phone off. I'm about to go back to a flip phone. This is a lie, but yeah, I be tired of the algorithm sometimes.
Yeah.
I be tired of a lot of stuff on social media. And you know, if you follow my podcast,
yeah,
like I be tired of a lot of stuff. We're not gonna make this a TOTS episode, but maybe another day. But it just be a lot of nonsense on social media. Like I feel like everybody is trying to, I don't even want to say clout chase. They are trying to one up each other. They are trying to hurt each other. Like, and the phrase hurt people still applies. Like we were talking about old boy that posted the thing about the girl that didn't want to bring him a meal for $20.
For $20, yeah.
I think people, and I've said this before, people need to stop going on social media.
Yeah.
And, like, put your phone down.
Put the phone down. Go outside. Go talk to grass.
Or talk to your friends.
Put in a group chat.
But we don't need to see these conversations on social media. Like, it's not bringing value. Yeah. The society and culture is like, because y'all sitting here, all we do is argue about relationships, you know, who ain't doing this, who ain't doing that, who got the biggest whip, the best house, who went on this trip.
Would you take the money or would you have dinner with Jay-Z? Like, I'm just tired of the same thing.
I'm like, I don't do a damn about none of that. Like,
it doesn't apply to my life.
I'm gonna take the money every time.
Every time.
Because unless Jay-Z about to give me some money after that conversation.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
It's nothing Jay-Z is telling me that I cannot actively look into how or to Google build it myself or Google it.
It's on
search engines right there.
I started my podcast, my LLC/S-Corp. All my tax write-offs that I'm doing this year, all this stuff came from me curating my social media.
Yeah.
The more like the stuff I save and like and interact with. Like I think a lot of times people just really don't understand, like, y'all be putting a lot of energy into these people that ain't really telling you nothing. They like, even the people like, I'm not gonna name drop anybody because maybe in the future I'll work with these people.
Yeah.
But they be putting these little tidbits out so you'll then come to them and sign up for their free class. And then they're trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
And then they bugging you. They send you text messages all day.
Sending you emails
to join this class. You gotta jump on now. And I'm like, bro, no.
You need to do it
I got
now.
the information I need from you from that free class. I don't need nothing else from you. Because you're not telling me anything I can't easily go Google. Right?
Yeah.
All right. That's enough of that, right?
It's nothing new under the sun, though. But, well, maybe it is. What would you, before we had social media, what would you consider to be along the same lines? Because I feel like the idea of social media was birthed, but it was birthed from somewhere. What do you think the point of social media is? Because I feel like what we were introduced as Facebook has now changed over the course of time. Clearly, the guidelines have changed. Yeah. What it requires to get in has changed.
But I think I would talk about HBCU Connect.
Yeah.
Black people meet.
Yeah.
At least from a Black person's perspective. Because, and I think I kind of learned about this in my MBA classes, that like Match.com and stuff like that. Like all that stuff was social media at the time. Where before,
that was considered social media.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because you connect with people you don't know.
A
lot of times people were using Facebook to connect with, either find people they went to school with, or to date.
Oh wow. Okay. I wasn't aware of the last part.
I mean, people use Instagram and slide in DMs. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell y'all, when I got on Facebook,
this man right here,
I was the Facebook request king on all the girls I like.
Was you one of those people who was poking girls all the time on Facebook?
Yeah.
You're annoying.
Poke you, poke me back.
Or you can just, message
I'm trying to poke you.
Okay.
But nah, like it's funny stuff. So my homegirl, one of the homies now, at the time I had, because I tell people all the time, if you follow me, you follow my first episode, I believe in dating apps.
Yeah.
Even though I am perfectly fine talking to people in person because that's me.
But I feel like you're more extroverted.
Actually, my ancestry DNA says that I am introverted.
You believe you're an introvert? You believe that?
Based on how I interact now, I am introverted.
Okay.
I'm an extroverted introvert.
Okay.
I'm selectively social.
Okay, I can see that.
So if I want a vibe, I'm a vibe.
Yeah, but if
I get my energy from being to myself.
Oh, okay.
I can't be to myself too long though, because then I go stir crazy.
Right. Then it turns into isolation and
but I do get energy from doing certain things with other people.
Okay.
But I would say, yeah, I'm probably more introverted. Even if I wasn't introverted when I was younger, I've become more introverted as I've gotten older. I don't be pressed to be outside.
Do you think dating has contributed to that or no?
No, I think just age, priorities, understanding what life is really all about. Like, I travel by myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times, not you interviewing me, but I think a lot of our socialization as younger people was like, if you don't go out and be friends with people,
you won't make the friends.
You won't have no friends.
Yeah.
Or your life will be less than if you don't have all these friends.
Do you think that has changed now?
I think with social media, you can make friends and find people that are your tribe.
Yeah.
Easier on social media.
Yeah.
Which is the benefit of social media. With everything, there's give and take.
Pros and cons.
Right. And so I think that's the part of it that is the benefit of social media, is that you don't have to be isolated if you don't feel like going outside. Now, you're not going to find your person, usually.
False.
Ladies.
I found my person online. On Twitter. There you go. Thanks.
But did he crawl up in your window while you was in
What's the window?
So, like, there's a joke about, like, that man ain't going to crawl up in your window and find you in your house on the couch. You got to go outside eventually.
I didn't go outside.
How did you find... Well, you
want to
talk about this?
We can, yeah.
Okay. So Pippi is in a relationship.
Yes.
With another Howard alum. I don't know this man. He's older than me.
Yes.
So, but heard good things about him.
Yes.
So shout out to that black man.
Shout out to him. Yes.
But so how'd you find this black man?
We were following each other on Twitter. Like you said, we went to Howard. And sometimes with social media, your circles will overlap.
Mm.
Like you said, he's older than us. He's only 5 years older than me. Mm-hmm. We went to Howard, but our paths didn't overlap. But our communities online overlap because we did go to Howard. Mm-hmm. So we originally did start by just chatting on Twitter, chatting in the DMs, and then it escalated from there. So I did not have to leave my house. Is that what you're saying? He didn't climb through the window. What was that phrase?
Yeah, that man ain't gonna climb through that window and find you on your couch.
Well, he did climb through my window. He didn't find me on the couch. But I was at home. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to go outside to find him.
You eventually went outside to find him.
I went outside to meet him when he came to see me. I didn't meet him outside.
Yeah.
Right.
But you met him outside, technically.
What do you mean outside?
The point is, women don't be wanting to leave the comforts of their home.
Correct. Yeah, you have to do that.
Yeah.
You got to meet people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that's the same issue with men, though?
No,
because some men can be recluse, be in the house, don't want to go out.
I think a lot of men, not a lot of men, I think there are some men that have issue with having conversations with women.
Person to person?
About things that they're uncomfortable having conversations about.
Like what?
Children, religion, politics, their past, whatever. See, me, I don't care. Like, you ask me a question, I always tell people, don't ask me a question that you don't want the answer to, because I'm going to tell you. Because you shouldn't ask. Because I don't ask questions I don't want to know the answer to.
And why not?
Because I can't unhear it.
Can't unring that bell.
Yeah, so I don't ask questions that I don't want to know. I don't wanna know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Mario Winans.
Now you're a singer. Okay.
Yeah, I used to be. You better Google me. Turn that mic towards you a little bit. I know you a little loud, so we don't really need that much.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to be a pop of it.
Yeah. But okay, so you found that black man.
Yeah.
Black love.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, I was dating other men, you know, so I did go outside to meet those men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you like me, we'll go outside.
Yeah, I will go outside, but I think people think because of my personality and how loud I can get that they think I'm extroverted, but I'm really not. I would prefer to stay in the house. I would prefer to stay to myself. I prefer more intimate settings. Even sometimes those settings with people who I've curated and chose to spend my time with, I'll be like, okay, now I'm tired. I'm time to go in the house.
And this is another reason I say I'm introverted. When I'm ready for people to leave, I keep them at my house without asking.
The scale, it go from 100, because I was excited to you being here, back to 0 very quickly.
Yeah, can you please leave my space?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to ease into that, you know, so that's why I say I'm introverted.
You know, for the longest, I didn't buy like furniture for other people to come to my house.
Oh, so that's the way you ease into it. It's nowhere for people to come over.
Yeah, I don't have people in my house that I don't have intimacy with.
Yeah, but when I first moved down to Atlanta, people would come over before I even had furniture. You know what I'm saying? And that was okay because it was close friends. Like some of my, very close friends who a lot of people didn't even know I moved to Atlanta when I did move to Atlanta.
Because that's how I found out you moved to Atlanta, social media.
Oh, you found that on social media?
Yeah, I was like, what you doing in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Honestly, me and Pippi didn't really get along in school.
Okay, all right.
We got cool
that's what we're
because
going.
of social media.
Okay. Yeah, we did get cool because of social media.
Yeah.
And that's great. We did not really see eye to eye.
Pippi got a little aggressive. I'm not going to...
You see the smile dropped. You see the smile dropped. Because what you're talking about.
She got a little aggressive with me.
I got aggressive with you. Or I matched energy.
I was chilling. She was upset with me about something.
Men be wanting you think that they just be chilling, nothing happened. Oh, I don't know why she was acting so crazy. I don't know why she act like that.
I reacted to her level of intensity, but I didn't start it.
I don't even remember how I started.
I might have said something slick.
Yeah, because you're real good for that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say something every time.
Yeah, you was fed up with me apparently.
Yeah.
And jumped in my face. Mind you, Pippi, I don't know how tall Pippi look. I'm sitting down kind of low. Pippi is not a big person.
I'm only 5'1".
She's so yeah. And I had to laugh about it because I was like, what was she gonna do to me?
It's like a chihuahua. Is that the sound out? Chihuahua? Yeah.
Yeah, because at the time I was 6'1".
Yeah.
190 something pounds playing college football.
Yeah.
I don't know what Pippi thought she was gonna do to me.
I thought I could take you.
That's that West Side Chicago, right?
Thought I could take you. I was like, size don't matter. I'm gonna cut him down.
I was sitting down, so she might have got a good shot in. She might have got a good shot in.
Look at growth.
We're in a better place now.
Growth.
This is one of my very close friends now.
Yes.
You know. So let's talk about that. Like we met at Howard.
Yeah.
Again through social media.
Yes.
Because I think we like connected on Facebook.
Yep.
And you were on campus early and I was playing ball. So we hung out a little bit. But then, you know, your journey at Howard was like, you kind of like ghost. Like you weren't like outside.
No, I couldn't afford to be outside. I was the oldest of 5. When I first went to Howard, I was not on scholarship. So, you know, I had to do well in my classes, but I was also working a job. I worked every year that I was at Howard. I didn't participate in a lot of activities on campus. It was like school, work, school. And when I first got to Howard, I was in a relationship anyway. So I wasn't really trying to do a lot of stuff. But yeah, as, you know, time went on, I started to get more acclimated to Howard and things like that. But I feel like I was a ghost on Howard. And I tell people all the time that if I could do college over, I would. I would drink, you know, do everything that people do in their college experience because that just wasn't my experience.
Yeah,
that wasn't my experience.
I think part of the college experience is the social experience. Because,
I agree.
Because it's how you learn quickly what you don't like, what you do like, the type of people you want to be around. But you also build those bonds and network naturally. Like I think a lot of times when people go to college, like those big universities and stuff like that, you can't really build a network of friends and people, because there's so many people.
It's a lot.
And that's the one thing I will advocate for HBCUs, and I love HBCUs, but like it's that small community. Yeah, it's that small community, and you get to actually know people, right? There are people that I know now. I don't know them, but I know their faces because it's not enough people where I would have never seen you more than once.
Yeah.
Like I see, like I'm like, oh yeah, I know. Like I think one guy came and preached at my church. Because I know him. I don't know his name. Yeah. But I used to see bro all the time.
His face was familiar.
His face was familiar. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the one of the biggest advantages of HBCUs, smaller settings, is that you get to know people and build true friendships, true networks, because y'all know each other. Yeah. Versus you went to school with me? Yeah.
It's one of the things I'm most probably grateful about Howard, that he did give me a community. The people that I was friends with at Howard, and even people that I became friends with after Howard, like you, because we weren't really friends at Howard, but the sense of community that it gives me, especially when you're going through major life transitions. Like I said, I moved from Chicago to Atlanta, and I did that after a divorce. So of course, I'm going to need a lot of community and support after making 2 major transitions in life in my early 30s. And the people that Howard gave me really, truly helped me with that transition. Yeah. So I will always advocate for HBCUs and the community that it builds and the intimate setting that it builds. Even though Howard is one of the largest universities, it's still an intimate setting. It still feels cozy. It still feels home, familiar, you know? Yeah. And I love it.
And I think that's because they do a lot of stuff to make sure that we connect, especially at least with your own class, right?
Oh, absolutely, with the class. Now, when I'm speaking from this is people from my class and maybe your class. Yeah. Because Howard is intentional about, you need to know your peers, you need to know your classmates. They do a lot of activities where you should be, getting to know the people who are, now they're your peers, but once we graduate from him, it's such a short amount of time, they're going to become your colleagues. Some of these people will be your bosses, or you will be the boss to some of these people. And
or I think you can just help that person get a job.
You can help that person get a job.
Because you know somebody.
Or even because the job that I have now, it was a 3-man panel. 2 of the men were from Howard. They are significantly older than me, but they went to Howard. They know the community. They know what it takes to get out of Howard. They know the work ethic it takes. And so they didn't ever step foot on campus the same time I was there, but they was like, I know what it produces. So I'm going to reach back and I'm going to grab you. And that's the community that we need. I appreciate it. I love it. That's what I lean into, and that's what I pour into.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you went through how you worked this whole time. Yeah. You didn't really have that. You weren't outside.
I was not, no.
And that's fine. Because there's plenty of people doing very big things at Howard that weren't outside. Yeah. But you became a wife. Yeah. Not too long after leaving college. Yeah. Right. And then went to law school.
I actually, fun fact, I got married in my first year of law school. I was advised against it, which is probably wild, But when you first go to law school the first year, they do tell you not to put a lot on your plate because you are learning a different way of thinking, and it takes a lot.
I heard law school is the hardest year. The first year.
The first year is the hardest year. Everything after that, you're like, I'm just ready to graduate. But the first year is the hardest year. It's the year you put the most time into. I was in law school. Outside of classes, I was at the actual school a lot. A lot. Studying, networking, make connections. I was more active in campus on law school than I was at Howard. But I was a little bit older.
And you had a little bit more free time.
I had more free time as well.
And not the responsibilities of 4 other siblings.
Correct. And so it was easier for me to step outside of my comfort zone when I was in law school, but it took an extreme amount of work, and we got married in the middle of my first year. And I remember thinking, I don't know if I should do this, but I also, some of the things that I believed, I was like, I kind of got to make some decisions around this. And one of those things was we had moved in together, but I didn't necessarily believe in living with your partner for too long before it turns into either we're going to get married or what are we doing?
I agree. I'm a firm believer of moving in with your partner, but not too long.
Correct. Because why would we be living together for 5 years if we already know what we're doing? Because we're going to be living together if we're married, So a year or 2, I would even say 3. prior to marriage, but that's what we're working towards. Either we're engaged or we have a budget or we have a vision that we're both actively working towards. Other than that, it's just very, it's a slippery slope and you could get comfortable. Anybody could very easily.
But also I think it's important because a lot of people don't move in together until they're married.
Correct.
And I think that's a flawed like approach just because there are things that you don't see day to day with your partner when you don't stay with them.
Like
even like just how the fact that I had this habit of leaving my cabinets open. When, like that annoys people.
Yeah.
Right. But you might not see that. You might not even recognize that when you just come to my house.
Yeah.
Right. Or like somebody leaving up the seat. Like eventually you're gonna get tired of it.
Yeah.
Right. You know, if people be splashing mouthwash on the backsplash.
Oh yeah. Or getting toothpaste on the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the things that you don't really pay attention to when you don't live with somebody.
Yeah.
But when you gotta see it every day, or even like the fact that y'all might have the same shower schedule.
Yeah.
And y'all gotta leave the house at the same time. So now we need 2 bathrooms. We don't need to find that out that we only got 1 bathroom once we living together and we got the same shower schedule.
Yeah.
Now somebody gotta adjust their shower schedule.
Yeah. My only pushback to that, because I was one of those people who was vehemently against living with someone before we got married. My only pushback to that is that whatever living habits, because that's what you just said, is living habits, whatever living habits you said, we should be able to discuss. If we truly are in this and being open to compromise, we should be able to discuss this and come to a compromise. I should not be leaving you because you kept the cabinets open or you didn't put the toilet seat down. Because then I feel like it turns into something else. Like we talked about this, we addressed this, but maybe now you're not seeing me, hearing me, or you're not considerate of me. Those are deeper issues. Those type of issues, I feel like you can find out before you even move in with somebody. You can have a conversation with someone and realize, are they really considerate? Are they really generous? Are they really kind? What I think most people do is people will always show up as themselves. They have no choice. What's on the inside always come out. Are we paying attention to that? Or are we like, I like that, but it's okay because he's cute. I like that. I don't necessarily like that, but she thick. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't like the way maybe she don't cook as much as I would like, or maybe she's not as nurturing. I was like, but she's great in bed. Those things are still there. You are just choosing to focus on something else that's making you feel good in a moment. And usually because that's very shallow, you can only make me feel good physically for so long before I'm like, if we're going to do this for a lifetime, it needs to be more than that. And that's when you're like, well, every time I go into the bathroom, the toilet seat is up. Is that really the issue? What are we talking about? Because children will leave the toilet seat open. So you telling me that you will berate or bully your child because I truly don't believe parents will. So I think that when they nitpick, first of all, your son's 1.5. Not potty trained. What are we talking about?
You about to start though.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
hey, I make my son clean up his toys. Yeah.
Don't be mean to him. You pick him up.
No.
You pick him
I'm
up.
teaching him responsibility at an early age.
At 1.
Yeah. And he know how to do it though. The other day he did it by himself.
Aww.
He had spread all around. He took his little plastic container, he pushed it around, picked it up, threw him in there.
Period.
And he gave it to me to try. I was like, nope, that's your job. And he did it.
Not you having them trained.
Hey.
What is in the Bible they say train a child, you know.
But this is why fathers need to be present. Because the mothers are the nurturer. Yeah. Right?
Do you think mothers can be disciplinarians as well?
To a point.
Yeah.
I think mothers.
I can't.
I think mothers to a point cannot fully grasp or like, and I don't want to say, I'm not going to say that, I'm not speaking for all women. I don't want to generalize. Yeah. But I think a lot of women have a hard time being stern or like hard. Yeah. On a child. Yeah. That is their own. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Whereas me, I don't give my mama grace at 71 with health issues. I don't give my son grace at 1. At a year and a half. Right. So just imagine how I am with people that are fully functional adults. Right. Yeah. But at the same time, that was instilled in me too, though. Yeah. Like discipline is needed. Yeah. I don't need you to be or to think that I'm your friend. Yeah. Or that you can manipulate me because my son will cry to manipulate people.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it. He will pout to manipulate. He don't know that it's manipulation.
Yeah.
But he knows if I cry or if I pout, that's going to elicit something.
Yeah.
Whereas with me, I just look at him like he crazy. Because there ain't nothing wrong with you. You're not wet. You don't got poop in your diaper. You're not hungry.
Maybe you just want a little bit of love.
You just woke up from a nap.
He just want a little bit of love.
But I sit on the floor and hug you.
He wants some right now.
No. Because that's not gonna be the world.
Yeah, but
you gonna want love sometime and love.
And I only push back against this because you are not the world.
I am though.
You're not.
I'm your father.
Because the way the world would treat genuinely, the way the world would treat your child, you are not going to treat your child like that.
I feel you, but I was watching something on social media.
Oh my God!
This should be social media. But it's like the bond between a mother and a child.
Yeah,
looks inward. Right? We love each other. This is inward.
You would hope so, right?
Right. But the bond between the son, father and the child is inward. But we also teach you to look outward. You
don't think mothers teach their children to look outward?
No.
Why not?
Because that's not your job.
Well, I think that's your job as a parent. No matter
I think when there's a 2-parent home.
Because what if it's 2 parents but it's the same sex? Because that's where we get complicated, you know?
Yeah, I think that's also,
not my story.
I think sometimes it has to do with how you were raised, but boys are always taught to look outward by their fathers.
What do you mean by outward?
Because
I didn't get that lesson. I'm not a boy. So what do you mean?
So, hey, you're a man. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
That you aren't having a good day.
Yeah. Do you believe that?
No, only the people in your house care. And sometimes they don't.
Which goes back to you, the parent. So when you say the world gonna treat you like this, but when I come home.
But I'm the only one before he goes out into the world that's gonna teach him what the world is like.
True. And I don't have any kids, y'all. So this is just an interesting conversation.
But I have to teach him that the world don't care that you are having a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Somebody will pop you.
Yeah.
So be careful. Like I had one of my best friends. Her son used to run around popping off in the mouth. I was like, he's a black man. Eventually, one day, somebody gonna bust him in his mouth for popping off.
Did that happen? Is the kid old enough yet or not?
He's middle school.
Okay, so probably not old enough.
Not yet.
Yeah,
but he's a lot more chill. But you had to teach him like, hey, you can't. The little sassiness, doing all that.
Sassy.
He was a little sassy. But you know, his mother's very expressive, so he was taking on his mother's personality a lot.
Yeah.
But as a black man, I owe it to my son to love on him. I love on him. Anybody that's been around me or around my child, they don't see both sides. Yeah. Like I'll tell him, come give me a hug, I smooch on him, all that. But when he acting out,
it's no time for that, huh?
Relax yourself.
Relax yourself?
Calm it.
You want him to self-regulate at 1?
Yeah. Because I know he can.
Okay. But that comes with it as well. You know your child and you know what they're capable of as well. So push them to do what you know they have the capacity to do.
Because when he in that back room, wilding out because he don't want to go to sleep. But when he hear me coming, he chill out.
He calm down.
So what was all that noise for?
Just want a little bit of attention.
Yeah. So let's have a conversation.
He's 1.
When I had that conversation, you don't make that noise no more.
Do you?
Because I don't believe in raising my child the way I was raised.
Yeah.
Which was physical discipline because you're not, especially at that age.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have a stern conversation with you because I know you understand me because when I tell you to do stuff, you do it. Yeah. So you might not know how to verbalize these words, but you know that I'm telling you to stop doing that. Yeah. So he been back there wilding out. I had a conversation with him. Hey, you do this every time I put you in here. You're not going to keep doing this.
You think he understood?
Yeah. Because when I say, I'm going to put you down, you're going to be quiet and you're going to go to sleep. I put him down. He ain't make a noise. He went to sleep.
Do you think that just because we've been talking about social media, that is a pro or a con for parents being on social media? Because I know with some things you can learn. Like you say, you don't want your son to be raised like how you were raised. Yeah. But is it any cons? Yeah. Is it any cons to being a parent on social media?
Yeah, if you listening to the wrong people. if you taking in too much, right?
How do you know if you're listening to the wrong or right people? How would you know that?
I think sometimes when I say wrong, it's subjective.
Okay.
Right? It's subjective to the person, right?
Okay.
You have to understand your limits as a person, right?
Okay.
Emotional intelligence, Todd's episode, tired of that word. But not everybody's emotional intelligence is at the same level, right?
Yeah.
We all are at different places in our life, right?
Correct.
So you have to understand yourself emotionally and mentally.
Yeah.
Right? I know that I have anger issues, hence why I went to mental health coaching to deal with conflict. Partially because of my child.
Okay.
I didn't want my temper to get me to a point where I'm reacting in a way that is not me with my child. Because I know I have very little patience. I've always said, I was not looking forward to this stage of my child.
Well, like 0 to 5?
0 to 3.
0 to 3, okay.
Because it's also the reason I don't want a pet. You can't communicate with me.
That's true.
I got to clean up after you.
That's true.
And you are pissing and doing stuff all over the place that you can't clean up after yourself.
That part is absolutely true.
And so I wasn't looking forward to that part. I'm looking forward to the doing stuff with you, being able to teach you how to do stuff, coach you around, like celebrate your wins and stuff like that, because I just want you to be a good person. Yeah. And if you can, be better than me. That's not a high bar, I don't think. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Because I've seen it done. Yeah. Right? So I know that if you're my child, with me and your mother, what we've accomplished, you can do something. Yeah. You might not reach that, but you can at least strive for it, right? Yeah. So that's the stuff I look forward to. Oh, okay. Okay. With being a parent. Yeah. Because you get to celebrate. You get to do something big. And even the little stuff as a kid, like when he learned stuff, I get excited about that. I was just about to say, are you excited? I get excited when he was like, he could put the stuff in. I was like, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Right? So that's the stuff I get excited about being a parent. I don't get excited about they're so little. And I'm like, I'm 6'2", 220 something. I'm afraid I'm gonna break him. Yeah. Babies are fragile. Yeah. When he bumped his head, I'm like, aw. Like, because my head, I know that shit hurt. So you little. It's like just a little thing. So you know what I'm saying? So like, but also for all the things that I felt like were not handled well as a child, the discipline and knowing that there were consequences was important. Because if I didn't have that fear of discipline, I don't know where I would be. Because that fear of discipline kept me in line. Is it even the fear of discipline or the fear of the consequences once you fall out of being disciplined? Because discipline, you shouldn't be afraid of that. No, no, no. A routine. No. Not discipline. Oh, you mean there's actual discipline? Oh, I thought you mean I'm disciplined enough to get up every day. No. Oh, I thought you were talking about discipline. Like you mean punishment. Yeah. Punitive. Yeah. Okay. I didn't want that. Okay. Right? Yeah. Even when it wasn't physical, I didn't want people taking stuff from me. Correct. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So knowing that there are consequences to your actions, which I said in the very podcast, I mean that. Yeah. There are consequences to every choice. Good or bad. Yeah, that's true. And for every action, there's a reaction. Good or bad. Yeah, that's true. So my child, I want him to know that. You can't hit people because some people are going to hit back. And that's a fact. You can't lose your cool because that can affect you later. Yeah. So if you learn how to self-regulate at a younger age, it won't be a problem for you when you're a grown-ass man. Yeah. What's the difference between self-regulation for men? Yeah, now this has turned into me interviewing you. But what is self-regulation versus, I don't want to say oppression, but like just pressing it down. You know what I'm saying? So what's the difference? Being able to communicate it. Okay. Like, hey, I'm not in a good space right now. Okay. And for me not to blow up, I either need space. Okay. Or I need you to give me some time to like calm down. Yeah. Versus I'm just not going to talk about it. Okay. Because I used to just not talk about it. Yeah. And then I blow up later. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's not healthy.
Correct. That's good emotional intelligence, but you don't even like the word. Why not?
Because I feel like people use it they weaponize it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm emotionally intelligent. I'm looking for somebody with emotional intelligence, but they don't got emotional intelligence. They can't even control their emotions.
You said they can't control their emotions.
They can't control.
What's emotional intelligence? Just the ability to self-regulate?
No, I think emotional intelligence is the ability to understand other people's emotions and what's necessary to react.
Yeah.
Or to how to deal with that person's emotions. Some of it is manipulation. So like a highly emotionally intelligent person probably can manipulate people. But won't.
They won't use it for bad.
They won't use it for bad, right?
Yeah.
But also understanding why you do things.
Yeah.
And why you react the way you react.
Okay.
So like my therapist told me that my superpower is that I'm very aware.
Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I've always known why I do things.
Oh, okay.
Do I stop myself from doing it? No.
Okay.
But I'm also very aware why I did. I can name it.
Okay.
Like, hey, I did this because
of this reason.
This reason.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
So what is it when you take it a step further? Like, I know I did this because of this reason, and now I'm going to stop doing this because the reason I'm doing it is maybe not the best reason.
Well, you have to see a flaw in the action.
Yeah.
Right? Because not every time you do something is a
wrong.
Negative.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. I'm very, I won't use the word paranoid because that's negative, but I'm highly aware of my surroundings.
Yeah.
Because of things that happened in my past.
Okay.
Like my mom's purse getting stolen when I was a kid, right? Someone breaking into our house because I didn't make sure the door was locked.
Yeah.
Like, I'll come back all the way to the house and make sure the door locked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So being aware of the situations that are going on, that's not a negative. It might seem paranoid to other people that haven't had the same experience.
Yeah.
Right? But that's your experiences guide how you move.
Yeah.
Right? So when I walk around with my gun, it's not because I want to intimidate people. I actually want people to understand, don't come over here, because the reaction or consequence to you coming over here might not be what you want it to be.
Oh, you get that thing on you. We in Chicago.
Especially up here.
We in Chicago, so
yeah,
I completely understand, even when it's cold.
All right, so back to you, right?
Back to me.
Miss.
It's still Dowdy.
It's still Dowdy, right?
It's still Dowdy.
So you finished law school. You practice a family law, right?
Yep. After law school, I had my own firm. I did family, federal, and criminal law. But then I eased away from that. Family law is very, very, very taxing, exhausting, and stressful. I was a divorce attorney before I myself got a divorce. And I saw that the way people treat each other when they no longer care about each other and no longer love each other. And I just didn't want to be a part of that. Fun fact that Cook County, the Daily Center, they got, what is it when you walk through metal detectors? They got metal detectors before 26 in California did. Because people will be way more emotional about losing ties to their family or their children.
I was wondering why there's freedom. Because I went to Cook County to do my swab. Yeah. And I was like, why are there metal detectors on the outside of the court? Like, I'm not even going into court. Yeah. We in the lobby. Yeah, because it's so much in that building. They don't know why you're here. They're like, everybody got to get checked, no matter why you're here. But yeah, the Daily Center had, they had checks and things like that. Safety awareness way before, because I mean, if you catch a criminal case, you know what's pretty much going on. It's just you, maybe a co-defendant. But when you're getting divorced or you're going for custody or something like that, you don't necessarily know how the other person is going to react. You don't? You really don't know. So sometimes people will bring things up there to protect themselves or to inflict harm on others. Because if you're taking away my right to see my child or something of that nature, or my money, people get very, very, very attached to that. Very attached to that. And it was exhausting. And I said, I think I may want out of this. It's crazy. Family law is more exhausting than criminal. But I mean, someone's fighting for their life, someone's fighting for their family. Yeah. That's the difference. Or whatever. Yeah. Because I think a lot of times people are in family, like they're in family court fighting each other. They're not really fighting for their family. They just, you don't think so? They fighting over their pride. Really? And their ego. Man or woman? Both. Both. Hurt people hurt people. Right? I agree. I was talking about this with a friend that went through a divorce, and she talked about how expensive her bill was because her former husband had, due to his ties, he had lawyers and he was basically paying nothing.
Yeah.
And she was far less affluent than him. And her final cost for her divorce and proceedings was $65,000.
Litigation is an expensive man's game. And I tell people that if you litigation is not affordable. It's just simply not the amount of work that it takes, the fees that lawyers charge, and everything that goes on behind the scenes that people don't even know about is a very, very, very expensive.
And it's not just you, right? So like I had Carice on here before. Carice and Kenese, that's funny. But Carice talked about how like it becomes expensive when you're using your lawyers as your therapist.
Correct.
But a lot of times it ain't gotta be you. It could just be your
it could be the other party
causing you to have to talk to your lawyers and deal with stuff, and they got to deal with emails and stuff.
Correct.
They got to read the emails.
Yeah, they have to read. They have to respond.
Yeah.
They have to, if you continuously call your lawyer and you say this is an area of concern and it's urgent, they have to return your calls. It is very expensive. Your lawyer is your lawyer. They're not your friend. So every time you're speaking to a lawyer, you're probably getting charged, and it gets very litigious because some of these things you don't need to bring lawyers in to discuss. Some of these things, if they're mature enough adults, can be discussed among yourselves.
Yeah.
But it becomes expensive if I truly literally had a case where mom would call the police on dad if he did not bring the kid all the way to the door. Because he would just stop at the curb, like come pick him up from the car.
Yeah.
We don't need lawyers for this. You should not be contacting me on a Saturday or Sunday. Y'all should be able to figure this out. But if you're calling me on a Saturday or Sunday, and now I haven't been to talk to police or things like that, or maybe something needs to be filed, now you're going to get charged.
Yeah, and it's tough. I know my situation personally probably could save at least $10,000.
Oh, you think so?
Easily.
Yeah.
Because our final allocation was basically what I asked for in November.
Like, we didn't even have to argue about this.
Yeah, so we finished everything in October of this year. It was basically the same stuff I asked for in November. But because of emotions and pettiness, and I'll say it's on both sides. I'm not immune or infallible in that way. Like, I could have handled things differently, but there's a lot of emotion involved, right? And I tried to be more chill about stuff. But we both could have saved a ton of money that could have went to our child's college fund. We could have put that money in so many other places for our sales. Like, I could have had a bigger house than I do now. You know what I'm saying? If we'd have just like removed the emotion and they're like, hey, this is what it is. This is what's best for our child. Let's move on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. Emotions, I feel like, are there to inform us. But sometimes, myself included, it's when you're in the middle of feeling a very strong emotion, it's like, this is the only thing that matters right now. And nothing else matters. Yeah. And it's hard.
I'm gonna get it off.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it off. I don't care how you're impacted because, at this point, I'm so adversely impacted. You gotta know I gotta get this off my chest, and I don't care what price comes with it. Yeah. But sometimes I guess that's where emotional intelligence, the situational awareness come in. Because you're like, okay, I'm angry or maybe disappointed or frustrated. But what, like you said, what is this going to cost me? Is this going to cost me another 10 grand or 6 months? Then maybe I need to dial this back. Yeah. But I don't see a lot of that.
I used to send my lawyers messages of like, hey, should I respond this way? Yeah. Eventually, they had coached me so well that I learned how to respond. Yeah. So I didn't have to. But like, that was money. Yeah. Because they had to send me text messages or how to respond.
This is a form of communication.
Yeah, like, this is how you need to respond to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because, I'm human. Yeah.
We tell people all the time that when you walk into the doors of a courtroom, do not leave your common sense outside in the hallway. Bring your common sense in the courtroom with you. Some of these things are very much common sense, but like you said, it's the emotions. So if you remove your emotions, you was like, well, yeah, that makes sense for me to do this. It's in the best interest of the child, or to do that. But it's hard.
Yeah.
And I don't even have no kids, and I know it's hard. Yeah.
But you have been divorced.
I have.
So as a divorcee, right, back in these streets. I'm just kidding.
I'm not in these streets.
Not in the streets, you got a man. But what are some of the things as a divorcee like that you could like share with people? Like, hey, from a family law perspective, from someone that's went through this, these are some things that you for sure need to make sure that you are handling properly.
Before it gets to the point, possibly, of marriage, a serious commitment, I want to have kids, but you just listen to what that person is truly saying. Sometimes I feel like there go those emotions again. They always coming up. We're like, oh, either I really like this person or I'm getting older. My clock is running out. Or what we hear often is the dating pool is trash, so I have to.
Especially in the dating pool.
Yeah, all these things. So it's like, well, I have to kind of accept some of this stuff. I tell people very often, if you know what you don't want, it's easy to say no to that. I don't eat watermelon or peanut butter. Someone tries to give me a dish with that, it's no. So if you know going in what you do not want, because sometimes you may think you want something and you find out later that you don't want that. But if you already have an idea, this is what I do not want, don't try to deviate from that. For whatever reason you've made up in your mind, I don't like peanut butter and watermelon, not because I'm allergic to them. They just don't taste good to me. No, and people say, oh, well, you need to try this watermelon, or you need to try watermelon in Atlanta, or no.
I don't want any of them.
I don't like the taste of watermelon. Or you need to try different brands of peanut butter. Or
I don't need it.
I don't like chocolate and I don't like peanuts. So I don't like peanut butter. Like it doesn't matter the brand. I don't like this product, But sometimes people try to make it fit. You already know when you walked into the store that maybe I'm not looking for red shoes today. Don't allow a sales associate to convince you that you need some red shoes. Red don't look good on you. Those shoes don't fit. They're a size too short. But don't think, oh, just like right now, it's New Year's Eve. I'm running out of time. I need to find an outfit. But what is it going to cost you? I could buy these red shoes today. My feet probably going to hurt tomorrow. Or maybe, now that I've paid so much money for these shoes and I'm constantly wearing them, trying to get my investment out of them because people feel like a relationship is an investment. I need to get my investment back. But now I've done squeezed my feet into these two little shoes for so long. Now I need surgery. I'm spending more money to correct the issue. Bunions. Now I have fractures. Maybe now I need to go to physical therapy. When I walked into the store, I don't want red shoes and I only wear size 8. Why are you letting somebody sell you something that will not fit for you? Relationships are a little different, but if you know concretely, it's just some things I'm not going to accept. It's easier to say no. And that's the takeaway that I took. Now as being a divorcee, I've been divorced for 3 years, but now I am in a relationship. I dated, multiple men throughout that. And some of them I can very easily was like, it's going to be no. You're bringing something to the table I don't want. So I can very easily, we don't even need to make it to a date. I'm talking to you, the conversation. No.
It ain't it.
It don't need to be that.
No, I think that's important. I think a lot of people don't know their non-negotiables.
Correct.
I think that's something that I learned in my 30s.
Yeah.
Right. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know what I didn't want.
Yeah.
Right. And you learn that over time.
Some things you really won't know until you experience it. Like, I don't ever want to do that shit again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times people be like, I want this. I'm like, this is what I don't want.
Right. Anything other than a no, I can work with. But if it's a solid no, what can we go from no? Nowhere.
You don't know how to regulate yourself. You got bad credit. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
You got poor financial habits. You smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Sorry. And that can seem fickle or whatever. Like a lot of times people are like, why you saying I'm like, I'm fickle? But I'm really just don't want to be like, I know exactly what I want. And if you don't got it, I ain't going to press it.
Because that was going to be my next follow-up. Don't allow people to make you feel bad for what you know you do not want. Yeah. People will try to say, well, as we get older or as this, or you're moving to this region or you live in this region, so you have to settle for this. I don't have to settle for shit.
I honestly think a lot of people, I think the divorce rate is so high is because people have settled because they were told that you have to do this, right?
Yeah.
Like even me, I wanted to be married by 28, wanted to be done with kids at 32 because I thought that was on the late end.
Yeah.
Like the tail end of the timeline of doing those things. I was like, I still want to kind of enjoy my 20s a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't go to college like some people looking for my wife. I didn't even.
When I heard that was absurd to me because I didn't go to college looking for a husband. But I heard later that some women go, to get their degree, but also to get their MRS. And I was like, what the hell? It's an MRS. And they was like, a missus? Bitch, they're going to get a husband. And I was like, wow. But again, I was the oldest of 5. So I'm there to get my education and I got to leave. But also, I've known I wanted to be a lawyer since I was 5. So I was like, I have to go on after this. This ain't my end all be all.
Because I was going to ask you, like, when did you know you wanted to be a lawyer?
Yeah, like when I was 5. The only other thing I wanted to be was an acrobat. My parents took me to the circus because I'm very whimsical. I like magic. I like the circus. To this day, I am a big kid at heart. I love...
Hold on.
I wanted to be an acrobat. I wanted to be the one flipping in the air.
So you wanted to be on the circus? You wanted to be Cirque du Soleil?
Yeah, that was me. I went and saw them. I kid you not. I was walking to the ring. My parents had to stop me.
What stopped that dream?
Because my mom was like, you can't do that. I was like, well, what's the next best thing?
You can still do it.
Now, I done went to law school and all that. Now that investment is going to pay off because that was a lot of money and time.
Money is temporary.
Okay.
You can't take it with you.
There's a lot of money.
You can take your joy with you. That smile on your face when you die.
But not the money. Not the money.
They don't bury. This ain't Egypt. They don't bury you with your riches.
You going in there alone, huh?
Yeah, they gonna keep that cash because you might have got some bills.
Oh yeah, they come
especially when the law school. They gonna be like, hey, you still owe us. Yeah. Because with these student loans, don't know they gonna get that money when they get the money.
You gonna have to get it back in blood. That's what I
think my next payment due in a week or so.
For student loans?
For my master's. Will they get paid?
We'll see.
Tune into the next episode. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
But yeah. Okay, so you said what was the first one? Understand what you don't want.
Understand what you want. Yeah, because when someone is serving you something you don't want, it's very easy to say no.
And then the other one was
I'm going to negate. Let me step back. It's very simple. Simple does not mean easy. Simple means that you only have to take this one step to complete this task. Will that task be easy to you? It may or may not. But it's very simple. And when I say that, because people will ask me, like, if someone tries to date me or approach me and they have one of those non-negotiables, say something like maybe smoking cigarettes. I've already made up my mind about that. So if you tell me that's what you do, it's very simple for me to say no. I may like you, may want to see where this can go, but for whatever reasons, I have these non-negotiables and I know why it won't work if you smoke cigarettes.
Right.
You know?
I ain't gonna kiss you in the mouth.
I won't kiss you in the mouth, or maybe the smell sticks to my clothes. Maybe I feel like the smell is embarrassing. Maybe I have an aunt who died from cancer who smoked cigarettes. You know, it could be a plethora of reasons. But before I even showed up to this relationship, this situation, I decided these are no. So some people say they don't want to date divorcees. What can I do about that?
People want to date men with children.
Right. These are facts. I cannot change that I was married or I'm not.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
So earlier we were talking about how I don't really want women to adjust to me having a child. Yeah. Because if it's a heavy lift for you, darling, I'm not the man for you.
I agree.
Like if you don't already date men with children and that's something that you're totally fine with, or you are not into it, please don't.
Trick question, because this is, in my experience, this is what I've seen men do. And I have stopped talking to men for this reason. You're the first person I've dated that made me want to do this. You're worth me trying to do this. To me, I've said, I don't want to be your first trying of anything. Because if you're used to this one thing, I don't want you to try to get it.
Because you're going to resent it.
Yeah. And it may just be, you may just don't have the capacity. And that's why you stuck to what you stuck to.
Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you use.
Exactly. You know, I could be very, sometimes I could get very fiery, very spicy, very loud. I'm pretty good at regulating my emotions now. But sometimes I get triggered, some men don't even want women cursing at them. I don't do that now.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I don't do that now, but back in my heyday, I used to call men out their name all the time, rah rah. So if a man come to me and be like, I usually like women who are more submissive and more quiet, but you see I'm loud as hell and all I do is curse.
Sir.
6 months in, you be like, well, damn, you don't never shut the fuck up. But you knew that when you tried to date me 6 months ago. Don't make me the exception to your rule.
Right.
It won't end well.
It won't.
It may be for somebody else. Mm-hmm. So, are you okay with that when women, like you was just saying, you don't want it to be a heavy lift. So they meet you, they date you, and they like, well, you know what? Typically, I don't do this, but I'm willing to try it out for you.
If you say something like that, I'm probably be like, I'm good.
Yeah. Why?
Because I don't want to be your test subject.
I don't want to be the first one. I don't want to be the guinea pig.
I want you to already know that this is something that you can handle.
Yeah.
And that maybe it's kind of like how I feel about sex partners, how I feel about employees. Mm-hmm. I want you to know that you can do this.
Yeah. I
want to know that you come with a certain skill set that you are. I ain't trying to do no on-the-job training.
Yeah.
Because I'm training myself how to be a father.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got time to teach you how to be a partner to a single father.
Yeah.
Or not a single father, but like someone with a kid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good. Because if you don't want to do it and you ain't been wanting to do it, that ain't gonna just go away.
I agree.
It's still in the back of your head. So the first time we have a really big blow up, that's gonna come back to the forefront.
Yeah, because I don't want to do this shit anyway.
And I'm gonna be like, cool.
I ain't want to do this shit anyway. You got too much mouth or you too fiery.
Cool. Nah. Cutoff game.
Chop.
Yeah.
Block.
Good day.
I don't have a problem with blocking people, but sometimes people struggle with that, letting people go.
Yeah.
I was dating someone and he told me that he didn't feel like I was special enough. Cut the cameras.
He said that at mouth.
For those out there who don't know, I am a Leo. The world revolves around me. What you mean I'm not special? I'm a vibrant thing. I'm the biggest thing in your itty bitty world. And I'm a small thing. So when you say stuff like that, I'll be like, you aren't the man for me. Because I don't know. You know what Cut it.
Yeah.
Why are you with someone that you don't feel that they're special? Because if I'm giving all my time and effort into somebody, I feel like you special.
But see, this is what I told you.
Yeah.
People weird.
That is very weird. You're actively pursuing me.
Yeah.
I didn't go after you. Yeah. You're actively pursuing me, taking me on dates or doing all these things. So you just do this for anybody? And that may be the rule. And that's okay because then I don't want to be with somebody like that. Yeah. It all reveals itself. Mm-hmm. If this is what you do for every single person that you date, then I feel like maybe you're a little bit too generous. And I don't want to be with somebody like that either. You're trying to overcompensate. And I want to know, let's get to the root of it. Mm-hmm. What are we really talking about? Mm-hmm. Like what we were saying, if I'm going to leave you because you leaving the toilet seat up or the cabinets open, what is this really about?
Let's unpack that.
Let's unpack it. Is it because I feel like, I'm already accepting enough because I'm dating you and you got a kid and I don't even want to do that. Mm-hmm. And you got the nerve to every time I come in here, the toilet seat up. Like that's petty stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's deeper issues.
Talking to me, I'm gonna be like, did you go in there backwards? Did you not turn the light on? Did you not see the seat up before you sat down?
When you do not focus on what the real issue, you distract from making the main thing the main thing. Now we talking about toilet seats when it's really, I feel like maybe I gave up too much to be in this relationship and I don't feel like you sacrificing enough.
Yeah.
So why are we talking about toilet seats?
Because that's what people want to talk about. They don't want to talk about the real issues.
Nah, we gotta get to the root of it. We gotta get to the root. Maybe that's why I'm not married no more.
Right.
It could be, but I mean,
that might be another episode.
I was just gonna say, disclaimer: like we did not get a divorce. He was not abusing me physically, any of those things. There was no infidelity. Sometimes people don't work out. That's not a messaging I got when I was younger, though.
They just not aligned.
Not aligned. I thought that. The only reason that you would leave someone is if they are putting their hands on you or if they cheat on you.
Nope.
Anything, I just wasn't.
That's what irreconcilable differences is.
Yeah. That's, we just don't get along. Our values don't align.
They need to stop saying that though.
Saying what?
I mean, I know that's the legal term.
Yeah.
But they need to be like irreconcilable difference, parentheses, we're not aligned.
That's
Or
what it
financially.
means, though. We're not
Yeah.
aligned.
Yeah.
It's so many reasons. Like, you could literally get with someone and, like you said, don't know they have bad habits or they gamble. You know, they have an addiction,
Because people are good at hiding that stuff.
but not that real. If you spend enough time with them and you talking to them enough, you don't even have to live with somebody to know they have an addiction. Because if I talk to you and every time I talk to you, you going to cop, what's going on? You know, every time I talk to you, the way you are relaxing is you down in a fifth of Hennessy. What are we talking about? It's a problem.
You know, I definitely am one of those people, like, if you get drunk one too many times,
Yeah,
and I'm not a drinker like that.
I'm not a drinker like that.
I only drink champagne. If you know me, you know I only drink champagne. So if you call me drunk too many times, you out with your girls drinking,
Yeah,
I'm be like, hey, I don't want to be with somebody that drink like that.
yeah,
Because I don't want that around my child.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be a thing
yeah,
in our marriage, because I'm not going to drink with you.
yeah,
So, and you're not about to embarrass me because you're drunk.
yeah,
Because as soon as you do that,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that way. And I think people just don't observe.
I agree.
And that's why I think I do think I'm an introvert, because I go in rooms and I'm scanning the room. I'm paying attention. I don't just be with people and not pay attention to things. Do I ignore them sometimes?
Yeah.
Of course.
Because it's a difference between you genuinely don't know and you like, oh, I see that.
I can work through that.
I can work through that. Usually that's what people think. I'm bothered by this. It's hurting me, but I can work through it.
Because sex is good.
The sex is good. He looked good.
They treat
She
me well.
looked good. The mouth is good. She thick. He tall. People have a plethora of reasons.
They spend money on me.
They spend money on me. I'm 45. I'm divorced. I have 5 kids. Who knows?
Yeah.
People have their own reasons for why they have the hangups that they have.
Yeah.
But I just will employ people to really get to know yourself in those hangups. Before you get into a situation where you're with someone who's always triggering you or always bringing this up, or you just don't want to do that. You want to be at peace when you get home.
Yeah. But I think a lot of times people are battling demons with themselves too.
Yeah.
Right? So like people want to heal people because they got their own issues.
Yeah. I would rather work on you as a project than work on me.
Right.
Working on you is much easier. If I work on me, then maybe I got to admit it is some things that I do that I don't like.
Yeah.
And now I got to change it.
Yeah. Because I know for me, I've definitely in the past dated women that I'm like,